Hi there, so I'm actually in Canada at the moment, and whilst I'm here I'm going to be throwing in some reviews of some North American beers. First up is a Canadian beer, and it's Black Widow Mild from the Tin Whistle Brewing Company. Mild is a British style of ale that was incredibly popular in Britain up until the 1960s, when it suffered a huge decline in popularity. You used to be able to find it in almost every pub across the country. Now it's pretty much only available more in the north and the Midlands. In the south it's very hard to find. We are seeing a little bit of resurgence in it, a very sort of tame resurgence in it, with all the microbreweries popping back up, and obviously some people over here have been trying to replicate it as well. The style itself, mild, is a term given to beers that are mildly hopped. They're usually dark in colour, although there are light coloured versions as well, and they're usually between sort of 3% to 3.6%, although there have been higher alcohol versions brewed. This one is 5%, so that's going against the usual trend straight away. The fact that it's 5%, not 3 to 3.6. So basically they're predominantly multi-palate, quite sweet, not very hoppy at all, not very bitter. It's a little bit like having like a dark ale, but without the bitterness, if you see what I'm saying. But anyway, I'm going to crack this one open. So it pours a dark brown colour, almost a little bit like Hobgoblin, for example, only not so ruby red, more of a reddish brown. So it isn't black, despite what it looks like on the camera there. You can just about see a brown hue there. The head is fairly, well, there isn't much head. Yep, pretty much no hop aroma at all malty based. Some almost toffee and chocolate smelling malts in there. Carbonation's quite strong actually, higher than I'm used to. Straight away the sweetness does hit your tongue, and it melts into the back to kind of a smooth toffee and chocolate type maltiness at the back. Probably the best I can describe that. There's hardly any of that bitterness that you usually get at the back and you would associate with pale ales, for example. It's quite silky, the mouthfeel. I would say this was fairly true to style, actually. So I mean, it's brewed in BC, Canada, and seems pretty close to the sort of taste of mild that I've had over in England. Only you are more aware of the alcohol, with it being 5% alcohol. The ones that you get in Britain are ridiculously drinkable at 3 to 3.6%, and perhaps the aftertaste is perhaps a little more watery than this one. This one has more of a lingering kind of alcohol presence almost than the other ones. that I've had in England. So an unusual and now quite rare style. Probably not going to be most people's cup of tea nowadays, with the popularity in heavily hopped beers, all those sort of American IPAs where they hop the hell out of them at the moment are really popular and seem to be the main in thing right now. I must confess I rather like those myself as well, and something like this is rather unusual after having had so many hoppy beers. I do enjoy this style, particularly on sort of spring, in spring afternoons when it's starting to get a bit warmer. You don't want something too heavy, but you also don't want something too light either. It's a kind of a nice in between spring beer. That's my favourite time to drink mild. But yeah, if you do see it, give it a try, but don't go expecting any hoppiness at all. If you're used to that kind of thing, it's going to be a strange experience to you, but well worth trying as an unusual style. So thanks for stopping by, and I'll be back soon with some more North American beers. See you soon.